Hello everyone and welcome to my Coronation Street 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. NeNe Leakes is unsure she'd return to Real Housewives in friend role, first housewife, and I'm a friend. Leakes was one of the 5 Real Housewives of Atlanta OGs and remains the series' breakout star even 5 years after her departure. Real Housewives of Atlanta star NeNe Leakes contended back in her Season 2 tagline, "I don't keep up with the Joneses, I am the Joneses." 5 years since Leakes last appeared on the Bravo reality series, with fans still clamoring for her return, she may as well update that line to, "I'm not a friend of the Housewives, I am the Housewives." Leakes recently expressed openness to the prospect of rejoining RHOA in January, but she's decidedly less enthusiastic about the prospect of joining in a friend of the cast capacity. "I'm not mad at the friend role. I just think, answering your question, if I were to ever step back on that platform and would I be a friend, I really feel like, I don't know that I would be a friend," Leakes said Monday while visiting the Humble Brag podcast, hosted by Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Crystal Kung Minkoff and her old RHOA castmate Cynthia Bailey. Leakes discussed her feelings about a potential Bravo return at length during the episode. Pressed by Bailey, who currently appears as a friend on Season 16, Leakes said she would have to look at it. "I like the friend role, I like the capacity. I don't have a problem with it at all," she said. "I just would think, NeNe, Season 1, the first housewife, and I'm a friend. I don't know." Leakes was a member of the original quintet of Real Housewives of Atlanta stars, alongside Kim Zolciak, Sherry Whitfield, Lisa Wu, and Deshawn Snow. RHOA was the 3rd installment in the reality franchise, which has since gone on to spawn several international sequels, hundreds of stars, an entire supplementary podcast industry, and even an annual fan convention. Following the Real Housewives of Orange County in 2006 and the Real Housewives of New York City in early 2008, RHOA's premiere later that year marked the birth of the franchise and Bravo's first series with a majority black cast. Leakes immediately stood out as the clear breakaway star. She would go on to anchor the series for 8 seasons, her 8th season in fact in a guest role, before segueing into other reality series like Celebrity Apprentice, scripted series like The New Normal and Glee, and stage roles in productions like Chicago. Leakes returned for 3 seasons of RHOA between 2017 and 2020, announcing in September 2020 that after an extremely long, exhausting, tiring, emotional negotiation, she had made the very hard and difficult decision to not be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 13. 4 seasons later, Leakes still hasn't returned, and her relationship with Bravo and its most public executive, Andy Cohen, have come under considerable strain in the ensuing years. In the grand, glittering hall of Bravo's history, there are stars. And then there's NeNe Leakes. With her signature blonde bob, razor-sharp one-liners, and undeniable charisma, NeNe didn't just appear on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she defined it. She built it. She was the moment. So when whispers floated that producers might want her back in a friend of role rather than as a full-time peach holder, NeNe didn't mince words. And in classic NeNe fashion, the shade was both subtle and scorching. "First housewife, and I'm a friend," she said with a smirk during a recent podcast interview. "Baby, I opened the doors and swept the floors for that show. I gave you drama, comedy, and quotables for decades, and now you want to toss me in the background like a side salad? No, ma'am." The suggestion has sparked a firestorm of fan debate. Some viewers argue that even a taste of NeNe is better than none. Others, including the HBIC herself, feel that reducing her to a supporting role is not only disrespectful, it's downright absurd. A complicated Bravo history. NeNe's history with the Housewives franchise is long, complicated, and as dramatic as a reunion episode. She's exited the show more than once, each time under murky circumstances ranging from contract disputes to deeper conflicts with production. But no matter how far she strays, fans never stop hoping for a grand return. Her absence has been felt, her presence missed. Yet for NeNe, the past isn't water under the bridge. It's still flooding the streets. "I'm not saying I wouldn't come back," she said cautiously. "But you're not going to act like I didn't build this house just because I stepped outside for a minute. I'm not knocking on the door as a guest." According to insiders, Bravo executives have floated the idea of testing the waters with NeNe in a limited capacity, a friend of the show role that allows her to appear in select episodes without carrying the full-time responsibility. But for NeNe, that feels less like an opportunity and more like a demotion. "Let's keep it real. If you're going to bring me back, you bring me back the right way," she said, waving a perfectly manicured hand. "Don't call me a legend and then give me a part-time badge." The power of the peach. NeNe has long argued that her contributions to the Real Housewives of Atlanta deserve more than nostalgic respect. They deserve reverence. She was the first cast member Bravo ever signed for RHOA, and her presence helped take the show from a regional curiosity to a national phenomenon. She sparred with Kim Zolciak. She feuded with Sheree. She traded reds with Kenya Moore that are still quoted on Twitter a decade later. But she also delivered real, raw moments: loss, marriage, heartbreak, and reinvention. "To be a housewife, you gotta be a housewife," NeNe explained. "I lived it. I bled for that camera. And now they want to slide me into scenes like I'm just visiting from the neighborhood." Behind-the-scenes politics. Behind the scenes, sources say the idea of offering NeNe a friend of role stems from executive hesitation, not because of her talent, but because of the headlines that followed her final departure. There were accusations of discrimination, contract disputes, and a lawsuit, since dismissed, that rattled Bravo's normally smooth PR machine. Still, there's no denying her star power. Every season without NeNe feels a little dimmer. Every reunion without her eye rolls feels a little flatter. "You can try to replace me with new girls," NeNe said bluntly, "but they're all trying to be me. Let's be honest. Half the cast came in quoting me before they even met me." A potential path forward. While NeNe hasn't shut the door on returning completely, she made it clear she's not interested in stepping back onto the set as anything less than the queen she once was. "If I come back, I want to be respected. That means my voice matters, my screen time matters, and yes, my peach matters," she said. "I didn't retire that peach. It was stolen." Some insiders have speculated about a compromise. A limited arc across a handful of high-stakes episodes, leading to a full-time return if ratings spike. But NeNe is not interested in playing the long game just to earn back what she feels should already be hers. "You don't test a diamond," she said. "You polish it and put it back in the case." The fan response. Fans, predictably, are divided but loud. Social media lit up with reactions the moment NeNe's comments surfaced. Some flooded Bravo's accounts demanding she be reinstated with full honors. Others reminded NeNe that times and casts have changed and maybe the show needs fresh blood. But even those who've moved on from the old-school RHOA can't deny the impact she made. NeNe was the franchise's backbone. And for many fans, watching her return in a reduced role would feel like watching Beyoncé as a backup dancer. "I didn't start as a friend, and I'm not going to end as one," NeNe said firmly. This isn't Guest, starring NeNe Leakes. This is featuring NeNe Leakes, star of the show. The legacy continues. Whether or not NeNe picks up her peach again, her legacy within the Housewives universe is secure. She changed the game. She made us laugh, scream, cry, and tweet in all caps. She reminded us all that confidence is currency, and that one well-placed eye roll can go down in reality TV history. But for now, NeNe seems content to hold court on her own terms. "If they want a friend," she said with a sly grin, "they can call somebody else. I'm not the help, I'm the headliner." And with that, the Queen of Atlanta turned the mic off and left it smoking.